And the Adu Show starts right now. Welcome to the Adu Show. If you are watching or streaming this episode, thank you so much for tuning in. I have a great show for you guys today. But before I get into my first guest, I want to tell you guys that this is legendary for me. Because I grew up, and y'all already know that I grew up listening to Israel and New Breed. And all I knew was from, the 2000 record all the way to the Now record. And I knew of Usher. I knew of Mary J. Blige. I knew of all these record execs. I knew of all these artists. But when it came down to the musicians, I didn't know how big of an impact they were making on me. So I'm so thankful, and I'm so honored, and I'm so glad, and I'm so excited because this is real talk. This is what Cal would say, cloth talk, because we ain't playing up in here. But let me tell you something. I already just did a bit of an intro right here, and I'm just so inspired, bro. I'm just so inspired with everything that's about to happen, because this is my third show. This is my third show in December. And the thing about, doing these shows especially is because I always expect the unexpected to happen, especially when it comes to filming. Yeah, I got a script. Y'all always see me looking down like this, or I got this paper. Y'all hear this? This I got a script. But sometimes I can't even deal with the script because it's so amazing just to flow, just to have this this space, and this space, and all this trying to find the word for it, but it's a certain level. It's a certain level of there's no limits. You feel me? And I feel like I have no limit and no just big expectation of it being great. It just is great. I'm not trying to let it be great. I'm not trying to make this show or make my guests look in the best way possible. It's just they are what they are. And let me tell you something. A lot of these people have come on the show, and they've made me who I am today. And it has spreaded so much positivity, so much light, especially in this crazy world that we're living in. And even in my life, and how, I come up, how I've been coming up. And let me just tell you guys, because I know I got to go to break in a sec, but I'm about to come back, and I'm about to have one of the best conversations. I'm not even saying this is pressure on my guests or me. This is just something that I just love to do. And the fact that I got this person on, I'm telling y'all this because y'all know I'm a big music, Israel New Breed kind of fan. Y'all stay right there. We got more of the Adu Show after this. Stick around. Welcome back to the Adu Show. Now, my guest for today is somebody that you guys already know I've been excited to actually talk to for such a long time, and I never thought I'd be talking and chatting and interviewing and just having a conversation just about life, just about success. Please welcome my man Mike Clemons in the building, you guys.
Yo, what's up, man?
Man, I did all that because I didn't know how many Israel New Breed records I was listening to. I didn't know that was you. I didn't know who you were. I didn't even care about who was on the drums until I was like, dang, like, I could do that. I don't know what that was, but I wanted to do that. And then when I watched the DVDs, when I went back, and everybody knows I'm a gospel dude. When I went back, I was like, yo, this is an amazingly talented, fun-fulfilled, kind of person who literally loves his family, especially about like what you sent me yesterday. I was like, yo, just do what you gotta do and just come back on the show whenever, because I just love your heart so much, man. Thanks for stopping by.
I appreciate
and
it.
I want to
I
just
appreciate
I
it.
just want to ask out of respect, because I know I want to talk about a lot, but how has this pandemic been treating you, man?
How the pandemic affected me? Man, it's affected me in a way. I feel like, I hear a lot of people say this has been the worst year, and all this stuff. And I don't downplay anything. I don't downplay other people's feelings. Some people, it has been a bad year for them. But and this, for me, it's been a growing year for me. A lot had to happen. We all had to sit home. One thing we all had in common, that we all had to be home. and by being home, for me, was a chance to really. I feel like God wanted us to get with Him at a different level. I felt like, there was, I've heard a lot of stuff in the beginning of the year about the 2020 vision and all that stuff, and that stuff is all great and everything like that. But it's like, I feel like even now, it's like, okay, 2020 vision, but 2020 vision for what? Is it 2020 vision for you to see clear to your businesses, or your growth in yourself, or even 2020 vision of getting with God? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much to it. And for me, it's been something that I would never forget, of course, with, I've never been through a pandemic before with this. So this is something that was new for me, but I took advantage of spending time with God. I took advantage of in my word more. I took advantage of just practicing being kind, and because tomorrow is not promised. This has taught me that tomorrow is not promised, no matter who you are. If God calls you, if God says your time, it's your time. And I had some friends pass, I had some family members pass, but I still give God the glory. I still believe that God is still great and He's doing something. I don't want people to miss that God is still in control. I don't want people to miss that, there's something still greater for us. Even in the next stages that's going to go on. God is still good, and so it taught me a lot. It's been other than that, it's been good though. I mean, business has been great. Business actually did more during the pandemic, so that's always a good thing. But it's been growth for me. It's really been growth. So if I had to sum it up with one word, I would say growth.
That's the same thing with me. Growth, maturity,
Yeah.
however, also revealing things that I never thought I could do.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I will say that this year has had its downside to it, but it's also been a blessing to me. Not just because I was like, oh, I'm grateful that, I'm not grateful for everything that, is happening to people who are not able to afford the nicest things, or who've lost their jobs, or who've died, passed away, and it was just because of a cold or a flu or some sort of
Right.
cancer. It was because of COVID. And I tell you, like I said before I started taping the show with you, man, I started the show because of COVID-19. I started the show to spread light, not just to spread light. I started the show to spread light, and not just to bring on guests and make myself look good. But I figured that as big as an influencer as I am, and as I'm coming up to be, because look at me, I'm not. I have no experience in this. I'm not part of no management, nothing. There's nothing attached to me. I will tell you that straight up. But when you look at me, I can't even see myself, and I'm proud that, and I'm excited, and I'm so thankful and grateful to have people say, yes, I'll talk. Yes, I'll be a light. I'll be salt and light in the midst of the darkness, because that's what we all need. That's what people need right now. They're looking for answers. I'll tell you the answer. It's Him. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the God who created the heavens and the earth. You're looking for the God who died for your sins. That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. But no one wants to come to that Some people want to, but some people not. And I'm just here to be salt and light. Even if I don't even say God, I'm just here to be a light in the midst of darkness, because we can all be grateful, and I can still, make everybody feel good and make everybody feel welcome just by being present and being respectful and being just a light. You're the founder of the Not Your Ordinary Juice Bar. But not only are you a business owner, however, you are a creator, a producer, an artist, a public speaker, and a musician, which, like you already know, is what I've known you for, especially because of the gospel artist / group you were playing for since 2005, if I'm not wrong, titled Israel New Breed. However, even before you were playing with Israel and the New Breed fam, you were working with... you were working for Mary J. Blige, and you were working for Usher. And I want to talk about, just go into depth a little bit, because I know I don't have a lot of time, just talk about that period of time of working with those artists and how it led you up to working with who we know now as Israel New Breed.
Well, back then it was really about, I went on the road at 19. After high school, and it was more about, I loved drums. I was a young musician who had a talent, had a gift, and my biggest thing was I want to go on the Arsenio Hall show. I don't know if you remember Arsenio Hall, or if you're too young for that, but he was a talk show, late talk show host, very popular. And I wanted to, it's like, I want to get on that show. Every R&B artist, whoever big artist will get to that show. And, that was a goal of mine, and to travel the world. And so I never made it to that show because he had ended, before I, came out. But the fact that God allowed me to see the whole world was amazing to me. And the experience of playing with these, artists like Usher, Mary J. Blige, and Drew Hill, and all these other people was great. I mean, I got to see the world. I got paid for it. I got a decent pay. And I got to do what I love to do, was play drums, and transitioning into a producer from that with my brother. My brother got me into producing. He was the one that went on the road with me in the beginning with Drew Hill, but then and Aaron Hall. But then after that, he was like, he wanted to do records. That's all he wanted to do is records. And we built the studio, and he got me into producing. So I have to thank him to this day of. If he never got me into that production side, I would still be, looking for drums. So that's something that is very special to me. He's very special to me. He also look up to him as well as my older brother. But from that, and then playing with Usher, and then the transitioning into the gospel. I prayed to God. I said, God, I want to play for a gospel artist, but I don't want to be just any old gospel artist. Like, I want to play for someone that is not only making an impact in this world, but also, it means what he says, and lives what he is actually singing. And when I got introduced to Israel from Johnny, who was the guitar player for Usher, it was like he's done their album, and he did the New Season album. I didn't know that until then. So it's funny how you meet people and you pray for certain things. And I always tell people, I pray for everything, and God always answers my prayers. Always. It's like how I say prayer changes things, or you pray to God and He'll give you the, your heart's desire. God has done that for me. And I tell anyone, you want to do something that bad, pray and see what God says. And so from there on, and then the rest is history. We're here today. And I got the juice bars and that came up after I left Israel, and I needed to do something. I overstayed a little bit with Israel, and I feel like God pushed me out because He had more for me. And it was actually started 4 years ago. And from that, the rest is history today, and now we have these juice bars, and we're online, and God is blessing us, man. We have more business coming, so I really can't complain.
What was the significance when it came to playing behind a gospel artist that wasn't just targeted to only one kind of group of a group or a race or an ethnicity of people. Because for me, all I knew and all I listened to growing up, like I said, was Israel and New Breed. And every record that I saw Israel come out with, I was so fascinated with, all the creativity and the art and the amount of musicians he had, and most importantly, the songs that have been recorded live and in studio sessions. Now, just tell me, what was significance with playing behind Israel and just the New Breed fam in that period of time?
Man, it was. I could say it was just a highlight of to me my career because the playing with these other artists was cool, was great. Don't get me wrong, it was a blessing. Mary and all these people was great, but I feel like that was the introduction for me to get to where he was. And because with him, I've gone more places with him than I've gone with R&B. I've gone to more countries with him than I've gone with R&B. And I feel like we've reached, and in the 6-7 years I was with him, we reached so many souls across the globe. And I've got to see so many places, so many people, meet so many great people and great musicians through playing with Israel Houghton and New Breed. And I felt like, that was just something that God did. God wanted that for that time, because he had another plan for me. You know what I'm saying?
Did you start, like I said, playing for them back in '05 and Alive in South Africa?
Yes.
So that was that big break, because I love that record. I know a lot of people.
Yeah, that was the beginning.
A lot of people love that record. That record, we played so much in the house. I still got like everything, from here. I literally used to always say, to my parents, because I always used to break drum heads, and they always are like, "Why you have to bang him on so hard?" And I'm like, "Because Israel New Breed's drummer does it." And I was still young, because I was like, "How in the world does it sound so good?" And I wasn't experienced with a drum key and this all about how drums work and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when I branched off, which was around 13, I started buying my own stuff and started experiencing more about how to actually build a kit and how to actually record and actually how to maneuver with drum electronics too, because that was another thing that I never knew about the triggers and the pads and and the sounds that all also you guys incorporate, not just secular musicians, but even gospel artists have used them. I see it all. And, it's amazing. And I will tell you, though, that it's incredible to see, from Alive in South Africa to a deeper level to, I remember so many records. Did you do the Power One? Did you do a little bit of it?
No, I didn't. No, that was.
I know it's Calvin Rogers. I understand that.
Calvin, and but no, Calvin. It was actually Calvin, and it was Teddy Campbell.
I was gonna say Teddy. Yeah. Okay.
That's Teddy.
Yeah. So, when it came to doing the Jesus at the Center record, and one of my favorite performances, of course, is No Turning Back. However, it's also You Have Me / Hold My World, because you you went from that being on that kit to going up on stage with Michael and Israel and singing that medley, transitioning to a song that was on the Love God Love People record called You Hold My World. What an incredible record. Now tell me, did you come up with the idea of like did you always like want to implement more on either of those tracks specifically?
I can't say no. I mean, collectively we have, kind of have, put our ideas together at times. They've always come to us with the core of stuff. Israel and Aaron. They've always come to us at the core. We rehearse it, and then we put ourselves. I mean, we're musicians that also like producers. You had Jerry Harris in there, who was also a producer. You have me. You have the last position in the center. You had Kevin Camp. He's a producer. You've had. I mean, mostly every musician was a producer. Yeah, Buddy Strong. So I think when you deal with the caliber of people like that, um, it's a plus because you get a chance to give your ideas, but also a chance to bounce off of us with certain things. Of course, writers' rise. We don't, we know what it is, so we don't say it so much. Of course, you know what I'm saying. But I feel like you have a plus because you got a certain level of musicians and professionalism that we carry, and we know what to do. You don't got to tell us so much because we know where you're going, and it being our third record and things like that. Especially me and Buddy, our third record with them, or even more. I think Buddy's done some of the even some of the studio stuff, but live wise, Buddy has been on every record that I've been on with him. So we know, and we've been kind of in the transitions of stuff. So I think that when you're dealing with that, it's just a different level of what comes together. You know what I mean? So we didn't have so much to say as far as production wise, but us playing the music and bringing it to life even more is us putting our input in. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I love that. I love that explanation.
Because everybody can't do that. Sometimes you have musicians that's just gonna play what you tell them to play, but they can't. Like if I'm on your record, I'm gonna give you what you want, but I'm not gonna give you me. You asked me to be on a record for a certain reason. You want my sound. You like the way I play. So therefore, I'm gonna give you what I bring to the table. And every record I've done with anyone, it's like give me this, give me the future, but then do you. So when I do me at the same time, but knowing what they want, I feel like it's a mix between you and them. You know what I mean? I mean, they hired you for a reason, and they want that sound that you give for a reason. So why not give it to them?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You give what is expected of you, and you don't do no more but no less. You just do just right.
You give it, man. You give it, and you rock with it, and you flow with it, and magic comes out.
Yeah, and that I always tell myself, even up until this day, when I write songs and when I'm able to be not just with musicians who play gospel music and R&B music and pop music and indie music and rap music, because I'm an all type of genre guy. I don't sing, I don't rap, I don't do any of that stuff. I just play. And I was like, I want to create records, and I'm working on my second studio record called My Sessions, and I just want to give out a sound that is not so much but not so less, but I don't want it. I want it to, when people come up to me, when I'm working with people and they implement a sound, they're like, what? I always tell people, I'm going to give you a track. I'm telling a lot of people now, I'm going to give you a track, and I'm letting them go free with it, because sometimes, specifically for this record, there are some things that I can't hear that they can hear, and they'll take, like there's a guy I told him he can I want him to play trumpet on this specific record, on this specific record, on this specific track, and when he sent me back the file, it didn't sound like the way I heard it. And if you don't give out specific instruction, it's not, you might not get what you want. But because I told him, I want you to go free for all, because for some reason I felt like this specific person was going to, and he knows who he is, but I ain't gonna call his name out because I don't know if I'm able to do that. So I'm just doing it for right reasons. That you can go free, and he's full of surprises, and that's what I love, because I think of music as an art, because it is an art. And you have to experiment with it, but I don't want to put people in a box. But there are some times where I'm like, I'm going to give you a project, and I want you to do specifically this, because not only that, it's not because I want I want you to do this. It's not because, oh, I want this to happen for this record. I want this record to sound the way I want it to sound. But I know you can do it in the way you know I like it. And so that's what I love about you, because I hear Mike Clemens and the way you play. I hear, it's like I know what Brian Fraser Morris sounds like. I know what Ramon Sampson sounds like. I know what Devin Sticks Taylor sounds like. Because of the way you play. And you have also this uniqueness to yourself, not only in your character but in your playing, which I really love. Which I immediately attracted. I was attracted to as a young age, at a young age, but I didn't know what it was, because I was like, this is vibing. This guy. I just love it. And I remember it was only twice I saw you in concert with Israel, and I'm gonna move on because my time is almost up. But it was twice, and I loved it, and it was incredible. And I just
appreciate it.
I'm really thankful for you and everything that you're doing. In music, and also owning a business, which I want to go into before my time is up, because my time's rushing me and I don't like it. So I want to say, like I said before, you are the founder of the company, Not Your Ordinary Juice Bar. What started the whole juice bar brand, and how did it all come about?
For me, I wanted it for health. For me, when I used to, weigh almost 400 pounds, I lost the weight, and I wanted to become this healthy person and beat diabetes and beat high blood pressure, all this stuff that was going on with me at the time. I was fascinated with juicing, and I wanted to get into, okay, what does that do? And the gentleman out here who had a store invited me to go in to be a part of what he had going on already. It was called Juice Bar 80/20. There's a few locations they had out here. So I went in, I learned some stuff. He offered me a store, took that store, turned it around. The store was doing nothing. And I took it and I turned it around to something that was huge. And from there, I started more stores, and then I changed the name. And then, so now it went from Juice Bar 80/20 to Not Your Ordinary Juice Bar, because the name that God gave us. He told me that they actually gave it to my wife, and my wife shared it with me and said, this is what God is saying. This is what God is saying for us to do. At first, I was like, huh? But then once God confirmed it with me as well, I knew it was time. And so we changed it to Not Your Ordinary Juice Bar, because we're not ordinary. I'm a musician who has been through this and been through that, all these different things in life. And God was letting me know that you are not ordinary, and your store will never be ordinary either, because we attract people that are sick, people are diabetes, overweight, all this stuff that that I've gone through. We attract that, So God confirmed once again what He wanted for us. And I'm a person, I move by faith. If God says do this, if God says close this tomorrow, I'm closing it. You know what I'm saying? If God says open over there, I'm doing that. So we're big on that. And the store now, we're not open, of course, because of COVID, but we're online. And online has been such a blessing to us, and we're still shipping out orders every day. Ship out, we ship out, we ship out. And that's with something that, we're moving to some other genres, some other business opportunities that came across us that we're moving into that I can't say yet, but we are, growing. So
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, bro, that you were here. I'm just so grateful. Thank you for coming on the show, man. I love everything that you're doing. For real, dog. Not just with, I'm just overwhelmed right now. That's what it is. I'm just overwhelmed. My time is up. But thank you so much for stopping by the show. For more information about the Not Your Ordinary Juice Bar, just head on over to nyojb.com. If that's what it is, nyojb.com.
Yes, nyojb.com. Social media, Facebook, same thing, Not Your Ordinary Juice Bar. Instagram, nyojb. And or if you want to follow me, Big Mike Clemens, BIGMIKE CLEMONS. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and that's it. That's what it is.
That's what it is. That's what it is, and I'm out of time for right now. I'm so thankful that you came on this call, man. Hope and pray to
Anytime.
just run into you in person one day. If you would like to
Oh
view
yeah.
clips from today's show, just head on over to a dude's YouTube channel for more exclusive content. That's me. Also, if you want to stream full episodes, head on over to castbox.fm or anchor.fm. Both are available for download on the Google Play Store and App Store. And finally, make sure to tune in to The Ado Show, only on YouTube.com. And for everybody out there, stay cool, live life. Until next time.